Kyle here from All Media Reviews, here to do another Compact Disc A to Z, the first part of the Ds. I'm not going to get through probably all of it today, unless I find time anyway. So the Ds, all right. So the first one I have, and I talked about them. Where I got this is screwed up. I talked about them in in one of the 90s, 92, yeah. The Dada debut album Puzzle. Although I kind of think I bought this relatively recently, and they toured here. They were here at Fine Line. I didn't get to see them last June. I wish I could have. I couldn't get a seat though. That was part of it. But yeah, it's got the song Disneyland. It's the first album. They had a few different albums. Dim was another one. Kind of power pop, kind of like Jellyfish in some ways. 90s power pop, but they did. I don't know how they did the reunion. I think they did two or three, maybe four albums, but this is their debut album, Puzzle. But which there's a Biffy Clyro album, of course, with the same name. But yeah, I think they're from California. They might be. But anyway, Dada. I still regret not going to see them. If I ever get the chance again, hopefully I will be able to. Um. All right. So next one I have here, I have. Is it just the two albums from this band? Melodic death metal band. When I was getting into extreme metal in the mid to late 2000s, especially. Dark Tranquillity. I have Fiction, which I also have on vinyl. It's from 2007. Great, energetic melodic death metal with cloudy synths and everything, and that's why I bought it on vinyl. I mean, Terminus. There's some. They're from. I think they're from Sweden. Dark Tranquillity. Other than DTs. There's Dream Theater, Devin Townsend, um, Dollar Tree. There's a couple other DTs. Dream the Electric Sleep, but of course there's Dark Tranquillity. And I have the album from the year before, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this month, I think. Character. Um, so I don't like this one as much, but I kind of feel like though a lot of the Dark Tranquillity albums I did listen to beyond even these two, a lot of them sound kind of similar, but Fiction's the one that kind of felt like it worked the best. The energy was really good, but yeah. Anyway, these are the two Dark Tranquillity albums. I would see them. I'd see more of their albums, but I wasn't gonna start buying their whole collection necessarily. But I'd like to see them live someday if the it would work out. But so then I have like it came out in either 99 or 2000. Magna Carta Records with 99. Prog metal, although there's a U2 influence on this, but Dolly's Dilemma was really popular among Dream Theater fans and some of the prog community. I mean, hence they were on Magna Carta. I think this might have been Matt Guillory's band. I think it is. Yeah, guy who played keyboards with James Labrie and did some other stuff. Um, but yeah, this is a fun melodic. I mean, it is prog metal, but it has melodic elements to it. Like I said, they were influenced by like the singer, especially was influenced by U2. I don't know if they're all from California. Matt Gullery's from like Northern California, I believe. But yeah, Dolly's Dilemma. The album's title. I didn't even say the album title. It's called Manifesto for Futurism. It's the only album, and then like for many years, the prog people and the Dream Theater fan base longed for them to do another album. But it never happened, unfortunately. I know they were like working on one, but he played on the Gullery played with James Labrie on several albums, but Manifesto for Futurism by Dolly's Dilemma. Um, so then I have only one album from this band. I think they may have had two or three, but this is their most. This might have been their most well-known album. The math rock band Damiera and their album. It's titled Music, but M parentheses US IC. So you can see that. And I unfortunately this was one of those commonplaces. I like this album, but I with math rock it was really a little bit like post rock, maybe more so. A lot of it sounded very similar to me. It was just the same kind of riffage with that sort of that texture that King Crimson 80s King Crimson texture. And Damiera, while like I said, I felt like they were a little better than some of the other math rock bands I had checked out. It still kind of came across as being a little samey and but again I think they might have had one or two others, but this is the one I checked out. It came out in 2007. I could have had it on the Empire list, I suppose, but Damn era music, and there's one of the tracks is a title track to this, but I haven't listened to this probably since 2007, but paid $8, but in April of 2007 when I showed up at Cheapo. So all right, so I think this is the I have more than one from them. No, I don't. So all right, I think I saw this band open for like Ramona Falls. I have been Ramona Falls, forget. The Darcys, and I have one of their records at least on vinyl too. I remember liking them. They wrote a concept album that was like referencing all these like pop songs or like alternative rock songs, but I don't think they're from Minnesota. I could be wrong, but no, it says Toronto, so they're Canadian. But yeah, this is their album. It's like a self-titled album. Maybe, yeah. Came out 2009, but I could show the artwork real quick. It's just in a slipcase. So yeah, I mean, I again, Darcy's are another band. I remember, a band them opening and liking some of their music. I don't know, maybe it was Polyphonic Spree. I forget what band it was. I, you know, and then that was kind of it. I never really like. I bought the record. I even bought the vinyl. So I'm guessing, yeah, it was a band I saw probably live in the 2010s when I was buying vinyl. But anyway, the Darcy's self-titled album. Yeah, they are. I think from Canada. Um, and then okay, here's one. Darla Farmer. It's called "Rewiring the Electric Forest." I wanted to. I even bought one of their CDs, the band Circa Survive, and ultimately the vocals bugged me. This band, well, they're not like Circa Survive in some ways, but they are in other ways. They have like a cabaret punk element, a little bit like you could compare them to like the Dresden Dolls or even Amanda Palmer, some of her solo music a little bit. They use like trumpet and these horns. They kind of remind me of like Margot Luke and so and so's. There was definitely like a sort of a dark like folk like what the Family Crest does, that sort of coffee house music. They do have some vocals that are sort of, yeah, higher pitched would be the best way, but I don't know if it was so annoying the way that Anthony Green's voice became annoying to me. But at the same time, I can't deny that there's a limitation I have with their music. When I originally bought the CD, I was liking it. I'm like, this is really good. There were a few tracks on this album that kind of got me going back to them, but ultimately I got a little bit of like that band Neutral Milk Hotel, that I don't know, you call that cabaret folk, but like rural cabaret folk in the tavern kind of thing. Like I said, the Family Crest does that kind of bar rock kind of thing, bar folk rock, but in a really charming way. Um, Darla Pharma, the charm didn't last forever, but I don't know. I liked this album for a brief period, about 2 weeks. I was really into it, but anyway, Rewiring the Electric Forest from Darla Farmer. There's a punk element. There's a chamber rock element to it. There's like I said, cabaret or punk, folk element to it. But all right, I mean, they could have toured with the Deer Hunter. I could easily have seen that. So I only have one compact disc from Miles Davis, that's proper, where I have the CD and the booklet still. I have Kind of Blue, I believe, maybe one other. I don't have it in the Silent Way, which is just tragic. I should, but I just have the best of Miles Davis on Blue Note, which has, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it has, well, some of the later stuff doesn't have So What on it, the stuff from Kind of Blue, but the Capital Years. But yeah, I mean, it's Miles, so it's the Capital Years compilation, 66 minutes. I mean, I can't remember how many of these I tried playing. CTA, Enigma, uh, Yesterday's, Tempest Fugit. That's interesting. It has the writer, so a lot of these are standards. They're not necessarily Miles's compositions. Jay Johnson, Thelonious Monk. Well, you needn't. It's his version of that. So it's like half originals, half like standards he covered, but on this compilation. But those were some of his best or popular tracks from the Blue Note period, at least. Miles Davis. I don't know what year this came out. It was like mid '90s, maybe '92 actually. Um, so then the last one in this particular stack, I'll go on to the more some of the other stacks I just pulled out for the D's. Band called Dawn of a New Age. Now I could be wrong here. This could be actually titled might be under a different name. The band might be the album might be Dawn of a New Age. Actually, I'm thinking that's what it is. Either that because it says Dawn of a New Age and F5, but I know this guy because he unfortunately passed away. The guy in the back here, I met him at Prog Power USA. He gave me the CD. I want to say probably in 2004. He called it trans thrash. Now it had like female vocals at times, but trans music. It's electronic at points, but with like spacey guitar textures, but also thrash metal. So yeah, I forget his name. It's on here, but Chris Rifkin I think that's his, yeah. Um, but I'm not sure if it's F5. I think F5 is the label, and the Dawn of a New Age is the band name, and it was a self-titled album. So, all right. So now we'll move on to one of the biggies. This is the whole shebang here. Sure. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Here's the Deer Hunter compact disc collection. So I think I only have, sadly at this point, one copy, which these could sell for a lot of money now because you can't find them, of the original, the self-original, the Act 1, The Lake South, the River North. Love this disc. I got it signed, of course. So I have one copy from 2006. Then I have just two standard proper copies of Act 2. I may have given one or two away. I don't know. Because I was seeing them sometimes here and there. 2007's epic masterpiece. Still, I kind of think is my favorite, even though I kind of think like Act 4 has more of my favorite songs. I got them to sign a lot of this. Um, Red Hands, of course, and Procession, Lake in the River. Dear Misleading, I love. Smiling Swine, Church in the Dime. It's a fantastic record. So I have two copies of that. So then Act 3, I have both just the standard slipcase, gatefold version, which comes with those I think, yeah, the little postcards, Story of the War, Act 3. Writing on a wall, and I talked about this the other day. I talked about Act 3 just in the video the other day. I was talking about, what was I talking about? I'm forgetting now. It was something for, it wasn't the anniversary, but, anyway, yeah, mustard gas, and why am I spacing on what I was talking one of my videos? Um, but then I do have the deluxe edition, which is the deluxe, whatever, big book edition, which has been, yeah, you can see it's taken a hit, but I think this was in my car for a while, my backpack, my bag when I was going to work. Again, it has the little postcards or with the lyrics and stuff from Act 3. I'm not sure I have actually all of them, but and it does have a book too. That's right, I forgot about that, which is an illustrated book. What was I talking about the Deer Hunter? The video I just did. Um, but anyway, because it wasn't 2010. Oh, it's gonna bug me. But yeah, this is I don't remember how much this was. It was a little more, and they didn't have their music on vinyl. So this is the nicest thing you could get. So probably 40 or $50, I forget. Um, so yeah, the Deer Hunter now. So I have only one copy of the Color Spectrum. I know they sold these later, but of the full Color Spectrum compact disc case, and has. Of course, I've got it on vinyl on whatever it is, 10-inch vinyl, 10 or 7-inch. I think there was 7-inch vinyl. Color Spectrum. You have all the discs with these slip cases. I think I showed this in my the Deer Hunter series a few years ago. I don't know if the CDs themselves are colored. They might have been. Well, they're just got the standard artwork that comes with it, but blue, green, orange, violet, or like indigo. Indigo be my favorite. Yellow, violet, white, and black, of course. And then I have the sampler the sort of sampler of sorts. The Color Spectrum, the abridged like sampler of it, which came out on CD, was just like sort of promote the Color Spectrum. People were gonna buy the whole thing. They just wanted a compact disc with some of it, which it had some of the better songs on it, but it's a lot of songs that aren't on it. Like my favorite song Mandel is not on it from Indigo, but Lillian, Home, The Canopy, but there's Wolves, Deny It All. It's a good sampler of the Color Spectrum, but I think you're not getting the full picture when you just listen to this. I think Casey himself would probably not disagree with that. But it's worth having, of course. I have it on vinyl too. They pressed that thing on vinyl. You could have the Color Spectrum on a 12-inch versus the whatever I got, the 7-inch box set over there. But um was it Empire two? It was Empire 2009. What was I thinking about? That's why I talked about back three. So then I have the Deer Hunter Live, which um this is not in the right order. I have the Deer Hunter Live. I have the original Migrant CD. Let me show that first from 2013. The Color Spectrum came out in 2011, of course, but Bring You Down, Whisper, Shame, um, Cycles, Let Go. I do like the Migrant Return a little better. The Crack Order, they have some extra tracks, of course, but I still like this album. But from a band like the Deer Hunter, it just doesn't quite measure up to their other records because their records are so damn good. But yeah, the original Migrant from 2013. Doing it the wrong way. Oops. And then I have, like I said, the Deer Hunter Live, which they did. They did a show. I'm not sure. Of course, they did the show, the Color Spectrum show, before Migrant came out. So this was on the Migrant tour. They did a live DVD. I have that too, but that's a DVD. It's in there, I believe. But I had a ticket for that show and didn't make it because it was around the same time all this other stuff, Marillion and stuff. I didn't get to go to the Kevin Gilbert thing. Shame me the true, but yeah, it has some of the better tracks. Bring You Down, Shame, Home, Mustard Gas, Where the Road Parts. It's mostly focused on Migrant and the Color Spectrum, but there's a few tracks in here from other releases. Mustard Gas, of course, The Thief, from Act 3. So I think it might have been with the Awesome Orchestra when they first started working with the Awesome Orchestra. Unless that was later, it was just a string section. So I've got 2 copies of Act 4 from 2015. Yeah, I mean, fantastic record. It's like 1A or 1B, 1B. Act 2 I kind of prefer as a whole, but songs like Waves, of course, is just a banger. Night in the Town, Prague, Sweet, Bittersweet, 4 and 5. 4 and 6, rather. 4, 5, and 6. The Old Haunt, King of Swords Reverse is super catchy. I love the artwork. This is the best artwork. I love the Act 2 artwork, but I think this is the best artwork, actually. So, I opened up the book. Probably did. I, of course, do have it on vinyl as well, but, because I'm a completist for the Deer Hunter, because they're a special band to me, but, anyway, something's going on with my camera. Hopefully that was temporary. My apologies. Anyway, 2 copies of that. Nothing different on the CD. Yeah, on that CD. So then I have only 1 copy on compact disc of Act 5, which, I've grown to, initially I thought this was better than Act 4, but, I only have 1 copy. I mean, I like this album a lot. I probably like it more than Act 3, but I don't like it more than Act 2 or Act 4. Although, it's splitting hairs, of course. Light is a fantastic track, but The Flame Is Gone, The Fire Remains, Most Cursed of Hands / Who Am I? There's a lot. The Revival. I've gone over this, of course, many times, but Act from 2016 that they recorded and wrote, and at least recorded these 2 records around the same time. And I think this is the first one with, maybe the only one, or the first one with Gavin Castleton, from 2016. It came out right around when I got married. So then I have the EP, All Is As All Should Be. She was traveling around with different bigger fans than me, apparently. But Holmes and recording these songs, writing and recording them. And I was meaning to do a review of this on that series and never did, but Flame Paradise is one of the tracks I always think of for it, and Witness Me, the title track. It's good. I mean, I would say it's probably the if I'm making a ranking of all the Deer Hunter releases, it's the least memorable, sadly. But still not a bad record. But anyway, all is all should be 20. I think it was 2017 or 2018. Gavin Castleton actually did production and engineering on this. Um, anyway, yeah, I think the booklet. I have it on vinyl too. I think there it is. The book is black. It actually opens up. Kind of cool. All right, so I mean, I'm not doing the extensive show and tell. It's not compact disc like Dave from Fairly Secret Music, and so I do also have a copy of Antimai, of course, from 2022, their last standard full length. We're gonna get Sunya hopefully this year. We're gonna get a documentary before that. We're gonna be screening that like next Friday in Seattle. Um, Antimai, and I know that there was something different about the lyrics. I was talking about that in here versus the vinyl. Like the vinyl's different. There's a difference. I'm not sure the vinyl doesn't include the lyrics, but there's also some different artwork I think on it. But yeah, I mean the different classes and this world building, this new world from the Axe series, middle class, the different rings, um, luxury, um, industries is great. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's industry or Lowtown's the one that I remember, the one that's got that very danceable, jazzy element to it, and he goes into that thing. It sounds like um, Hamilton or whatever. I haven't seen Hamilton, so I don't know the music from Hamilton. But yeah, Antimai from the Deer Hunter 2022. So that's the Deer Hunter compact disc collection. So moving on to yeah, okay, so I can do this in the right order. CD from someone by the name, I think this is rather new age kind of music. Anthony DeGeneiro, Legends in Stone. I must have been given this maybe when I was at the radio station, or it's some other thing at Renaissance Festival, maybe. Or I'm pretty sure this is kind of new age music. The Mirror of Magic Reflections. Well, I don't know if I'm not sure. The name of the artist is Anthony DeGeneiro, and his version it's Anthony DeGenero's Legends in Stone. So Ant Man tunes, interesting. It says on there. Can see that, but yeah, I mean, I can't say much more about this. It came out in 2002, so yeah, I may have got this at Renaissance Festival or maybe at the radio station. Little stain on here and crack another one of these cracked jewel cases. But yeah, not much more to say. I haven't listened to that probably since I got it, whenever that was. So I think it's just the one. And I know they had other records I listened to, but I think this is the self-titled debut album from Dead Letter Circus. They had a couple EPs that were really good. Australian heavy art progressive art rock band, which they would definitely be included in some of those calendars if they're not. The album's called "This Is the Warning." Sounds a lot like Carnival or Fair to Midland at times, but I don't know if they stood out. There's one song on here that the drums were crazy. I want to say it was called "The Drum." And then it's not the drums specifically. Well, the drums included, but the guitar riff. But it's next in line was a single. I remember I was really excited for this. I was totally hyped about this band because there's some bands in that style of heavy art rock, influenced by Tool that didn't do anything for me like Richelieu. But this band, along with Carnival at the time, especially, and Fair to Midland, and a couple of others, Apex Theory, Biffy Clyro, kind of fit in that. Oedipus is another one I'll be showing stuff, but yeah, this is Dead Letter Circus. There's a band called Dead Letter Office. I think it's a double disc, or it kind of came with a DVD with a making of. I've probably never watched it, but this is the Warning, their debut album. I want to say it was like 2011. Yep, Sumerian Records, which this is not metal, but that's a metal label, but a lot of metal cores on it. Like what's it called? The Latter Rain from was on there, I think, from the band was Less is More, that was metalcore. I'm blanking on the name, but anyway, here's a CD from a band called Days Veil. I think I saw them live, maybe not. I get them mixed up with May because there's a Christian element, but this band kind of sounds like Mew at times. And this came out in 2007, I think. It's called All the Houses Look the Same. again, this should have probably been on my 2007 Empire list. Again, it has a little bit of a Christian element, which bugged me, but songs like Surface and Shoreline and Shadows and City Lights. If you like Mew, you could easily like this. Team Me's better. Team Me is a lot better than this band, but this band is still pretty good. There's nothing, I mean, other than the little subtle hints of Christianity, nothing about their music bugs me. It's just, mid-level. I just, but for bands that are like Mew that aren't Mew, they're in that camp, in that, category. Born Over Cyrus, who I showed on the B series. I was forgetting a couple months ago. So here we go. Here's a side project of the members of Zero Hour with I forget the singer's name, but called Death Machine. So I think it's Jason and Troy Tipton both. This album came out, the self-titled album came out in 2002, and I don't think it's really death metal, but Mike, the drummer from Zero Hours, on it too, because I bought this. I'm pretty sure at Prague Power USA, and they were at the Zero Hour was there, so like they were promoting it. But yeah, it's a different kind. It's not the technical metal that Zero Hour really is, but it's not really Death Machine either, though. It's sort of, I don't know. What do I call it? I mean, it's metal of a sort, but it's more like, I don't know. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but it's like Zero are trying to do kind of death metal, but I don't remember the vocals being harsh because I couldn't handle many harsh vocals. I mean, Opeth was the only thing I listened to at the time, but it says throat though, Kirk. So maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe this is death metal, but I was hoping they would get popular because I wanted to support the Zero Hours guys, and at the time I did listen to it. I think I may have even played something on the radio from it, but maybe Earl Root did on Root of All Evil. So, oh, I missed one. I knew I had another Days Veil album. So I have Days Veil's album White Lights as well. I think I got this, maybe, no, I got it for $1. I think this is an EP. I think it might be a full length. You can see. So I didn't go over this. I guess this is an EP. It came out 2008, so it followed up their last your house. All houses look the same to me. And sadly, it kind of looks like it was a burned. I don't know. I mean, looks like Brave New World Press, but it looks like it's on a CDR. But just an EP. I paid $1 for it, assuming this is it. But I don't imagine it. I'd like it as much as that other record. But again, being a Mew fan, I like some of it. So, all right. So it's not exact order from a standpoint of last name, but I'm putting it under the D's because I just refer to him as Debashish. Debashish Bata Kara, spells his name. Um, I saw him live a couple times. He's a slide guitar player, like, but does Hindustani. It's like Indian classical music with Western influences. Great stuff. I mean, he's better live. John McLaughlin even played on this one. So this is the one that came out on Record Store Day on vinyl, I think. It's called Debashish B, yeah, and Friends and Beyond the Ragosphere. Um, you know, this came out like 2012 originally, and it showed up on the other Black Friday or Record Store Day itself. Long write up here. 2000 Grammy Award, no, 2009. But then I have this one too. I think this one came out before it. It's called If Music Could Intoxicate. This is 2012. It was right in the early to mid 2000s, and he came back here. I want to say a year or two ago, and I didn't see him. I wish I had, but because the 2 or 3 times I saw him, he just floored me. These are really good records. They're fun records, but if you want to get the full experience of Debashish, definitely. Maybe this was 13 actually. I'm looking at the year. Yeah, this is 2013. Beyond the Ragosphere was 13 with John McLaughlin. And Madeira, If Music Could Intoxicate, was 2012. I have these little post-its on here to try to write the tracks down that were the best ones, to remember to go back to it. All right, so, here's the extent. I think this is all them. Yes, extent of the Decemberist collection. So I have the early Decemberist records. Well, okay, so I have the debut EP, 5 songs, which I also have on vinyl in that compilation with the Tane. It was like 2001, I want to say. It was 2002. I don't know. Then I have. Am I missing one here? No, maybe not. Um, I have Her Majesty, the Decemberist, but I'm not finding. Oh no, there it is. Castaways and Cutouts. I didn't have this in the radar. Here's their debut album. I think this was 2002. I did this in the Empire calendar. If you know this by heart, but yeah, it was 2002. I Dream of an Architect, I think, is on this one. Here I Dream of an Architect, but so I have that. Still don't have that on vinyl. I probably will want to get it. Then I have Her Majesty the Decemberist, the follow up. That was 2003. Um, Shanty for Arethusa. Arethusa? Bachelor and the Bride. Not as many sort of bangers on this record people think of as a second record from a band. Um, and then, of course, I've got the trilogy of records I feel are the peak Decemberists. The Tane EP, 5 parts. I have that on vinyl within a compilation with 5 songs. Um, and then Picaresque, of course. Got this in Amoeba Records. I don't know, 2007 or something like that. So I wasn't into the Decemberists probably till 2006, till the Crane Wife came out. I didn't really know them or, but of course I've talked about this here and there. The 20th anniversary is this year. The Mariner's Revenge song's the one that people think of this the most. Sporting Life, though, the Infanta, it's got a lot of good tracks on it. And then to me, their best record, their masterpiece of sorts, the Crane Wife from 2006. They're most proggy in some ways, but it's kind of linear. It's got the island with the island suite, which is 13 minutes or whatever, and then the Crane Wife suite 2 and 3, and then ending with 1. Sons and Daughters, Perfect Crime, of Valencia. This is almost not a perfect record, but pretty close. So that's my Decemberist collection. So here to wrap up the first part of the D's with another portion of them. Yeah, okay. D, E, E, D, E, F. So here's my very limited Deep Purple compact disc collection I have. Of course, Machine Head, the standard, most popular. It has Smoke on the Water and Space Truckin' and an issue from the early '90s. One of the earliest CDs I bought. I don't know when I bought it exactly. I bought it when I was in high school though. But Highway Star, Lazy, great record, great energy. Stuff's better live. Of course, based on that, I do have the double disc version of Made in Japan from Deep Purple. It has the 30, not 32, the 19-minute, almost 20-minute version of Space Truckin' and the Child in Time 12-minute and 18-second version of that. Highway Stars 640. This guy has Black Knight, Speed King. The early Mark II lineup. It's Deep Purple. And it's a phenomenal, famous live record. One of the most famous live records of all time, made in Japan. I think it was at Budokan. It might have been, but and then I have, as the tour I saw them on, the first tour, I saw them 1 or 2 other times. One time with Steve Morse, but Abandoned from 1998 when they toured with the LP in Dream Theater. I liked it when I heard it in '98, although I didn't like it that much. I liked it a little bit. I bought it at Best Buy. I got my employee discount. I remember I was working at Best Buy at the time. But yeah, I from what I can from people I don't follow, I don't listen to their recent records. This one holds up better than a lot of their other '90s albums. It does have John Lord, I believe. I saw John Lord with them at that show with the LP in Dream Theater. So, all right, and then all right. So to wrap up this one, I only got 3 left here. Talked about this in the 2008 Empire video. No, I'm not doing this in the right order. Okay, so no, I didn't talk about this in the Empire video, but I have only one compact disc from Def Leppard, the Vault compilation. Another one I think I probably got through BMG, the music club back in the early '90s, and I knew their hits, of course. Pour Some Sugar on Me, Photograph. Photograph is and Hysteria is on here, I believe. Yeah. Hysteria is my favorite Def Leppard song. It's their hits. They had half of these songs or more still playing on classic rock radio and anyone who plays '80s stuff. But yeah, this was a very popular compilation, Vault, from Def Leppard. But I've never bothered to buy their individual studio albums. Maybe at some point I will, but I don't mind them. I don't love them. They have their Queen moments. So. And okay, so then I have, I showed this in the 2008 Empire video. It's Demians. They're the only album I have from Demians. The debut album They were known as Silent Ceremony, and I contend that the demo stuff that Nick Chappell did with Demians, I like even more than the stuff on here. There's a couple songs, one that with samples that has Homer Simpson. Um, but this is a Building an Empire, the debut album from 2008. A very good record, very proggy, but it's alternative. It sounds like Porcupine Tree at times. I don't know what else to compare it to exactly. The Perfect Symmetry. What is it? Temple's the one with samples from Martin Luther King. I Have a Dream speech. Empire. Sand. Shine. Yeah, it's very polished. It was a breath of fresh air. Unfortunately, the Demi and stuff that came after it, I wasn't feeling it. It was not. He wasn't doing prog. This at least was somewhat proggy. He was doing more just alternative metal, I guess you could say. That album Mute, I remember listening. I listened to 2 or 3 other Demian's albums, and I kept on hoping he would release that stuff from Silent Ceremony, but yeah, this album itself was on Inside Out. I forgot about that. Um, was a pretty good record from 2008 debut album, and Steven Wilson was very complimentary of it. I think Demian's they're from France. They actually did open for Porcupine Tree. Porcupine Tree or Steven Wilson solo at one point. So, and then the last one on this video is the lone album from this band, Derek and the Dominos. Eric Clapton's one of his many side projects after the Yardbirds and Cream. But Layla and other sort of love songs, of course, it has Layla the song. Bell Bottom Blues and a couple others. I'm kind of sour on him, trying to separate art from artist. He's not the worst compared to some people, but I'm not as very pro Eric Clapton as I once was, even though I never was massive into him, but I liked him. I liked Blind Faith. But yeah, Derek and the Dominos, Layla. This also has Duane Allman, I believe, and some other people. So it's like he kept on doing supergroup. I mean, Cream was a supergroup of sorts, and then he did Blind Faith, and then this, but then he went solo. So yeah, I have the. I think this comes with a DVD, or maybe not. I want to say this is just a double disc because it's not a short record. It's 14 tracks, so maybe it's a double disc. But Super Audio CD. It says it was. No, it's not a double disc. It looked like this thing open. But so that's it for the first part of the D's. Anyway, I'll try to get to the second part. I don't be today or tomorrow. I got all these videos to upload for the compact disc. That's when I'm going to try to focus, not entirely on. I'll probably do a calendar update soon, and some other ideas for videos are coming up. But thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.